My name is Tanvi. I'm a rising senior at Scarsdale High School, and for my main project I created the hand gesture controlled RC car with a robotic arm. So this is how it works. Here it moves forwards, and it stopped by itself because I have an ultrasonic range sensor that tells it to stop when it comes within 10 centimeters of an object. And here it moves back, turn right, the claw goes down, it comes up, and I can close it, or turns left. And I can close the claw. And so since my last milestone, I've added 3 modifications. The first one is an ultrasonic sensor. So what this does is it allows me to stop the motors when the chassis comes within 10 centimeters of an object. So how it works is one sensor sends out a sound wave and the other receives it, and so then time is calculated, the amount of time it took for one sensor to send and the other to receive, and then there's an equation that allows you to calculate the distance that the sensor is from an object, and that's the time it took for the sound wave to leave one side and enter the other, divided by 2 times the speed of sound. So I took that information and created a code that, as I said, allowed me to stop the motors when the chassis came within 10 centimeters of an object. And I added this code to my coordinator code and mounted the ultrasonic sensor to the front of my cart. The second modification I made was I added new wheels to my DC motor. So originally I had wheels that were 2 inches in diameter, and I wanted to replace them with wheels that were 4 inches in diameter because I wanted my cart to move faster. So replacing it with wheels that are 4 inches in diameter allowed me to do this because it allowed the chassis to cover more ground at the same RPM, which is revolutions per minute. So now my cart moves faster than before. And the last modification I made was I added a 5-volt power supply that supplies power to only my servos. So this is different from before because before, in my second milestone, the servos on my robotic arm weren't working properly because both the servos and the DC motors were drawing current from the same 12-volt battery, and this prevented the servos from working properly. So we fixed this problem by giving the servos their own 5-volt power supply. So now, as you saw, the robotic arm works as it should. So yeah, those are my 3 modifications. So the process of creating this main project forced me to not only develop my coding skills, but also understand how computers interpret code that I write. So I think this skill is so invaluable, and I'm extremely grateful for being able to develop this skill because now I'm confident in my ability to understand certain types of code, write code, and also identify certain places where error could occur, which I think is really helpful because before I really wasn't sure how to identify an error and fix it. I'm also proud of the mechanical engineering skills I've developed because when I started this program, I couldn't identify over half of the parts that were given to me. But now I'm confident in my ability to not only identify these parts, but also explain to someone else how they work. And I think that the ability to explain to someone else how something works really demonstrates how much you know about it. So I'm really happy that I was able to develop these skills. And by creating this project, I'm more confident and I feel more comfortable saying that I am an engineer. So yeah.